When I tell people that I research the historical accuracy of movies based on true stories, I usually get one of two questions. One is, how do you make a living? And the other is, in my opinion, what is the most accurate true story movie of all time? I can usually tell that they're waiting for me to answer with the name of a movie that was hugely successful that they're going to immediately recognize. Having researched movies based on true stories in some capacity for just over 2 decades, I can tell you that a general rule of thumb is that the more enjoyable a true story movie is, the less historically accurate it is. And this makes sense because they often dramatize these films to make them more enjoyable. So they add more fiction and it becomes less historically accurate. A good example of this is Wyatt Earp in Tombstone. Wyatt Earp starring Kevin Costner is the more historically accurate of the two, but Tombstone for many people is the more enjoyable of the two, but it's heavily fictionalized. And this is the conundrum that filmmakers oftentimes have to wrestle with. How do we dramatize the film enough to make it really enjoyable without betraying the true story? So having said those things, back to the original question. What is the most accurate true story movie of all time? Having researched and written about hundreds of true story movies, there is one that stands out to me as being the most historically accurate, and it came out not so long ago in 2018. That movie is the 1517 to Paris, directed by Clint Eastwood. It's a movie that only grossed $36.3 million in North America and $20.6 million in other territories. It tells the story of the 2015 Paris train attack, in which a group of passengers attempted to stop a terrorist who boarded a high-speed train that had been traveling from Amsterdam to Paris. The train was carrying 554 passengers and was moving at a speed of over 150 miles per hour. The gunman, 25-year-old Ayoub El-Kazani, had boarded the train in Brussels. Not only does the movie follow extremely closely to how the real-life events unfolded, sometimes shot for shot, Clint Eastwood also cast 6 of the real-life passengers to portray themselves in the film. This includes the film's 3 main characters, Spencer Stone, Alex Skarlatos, and Anthony Sadler, 3 American friends who tried to stop the gun-wielding terrorist. It's worth noting that director Clint Eastwood didn't originally intend to cast the real people in these roles. He had picked actors Alexander Ludwig, Cal Gallner, and Jeremy Harris to portray Spencer Stone, Alex Skarlatos, and Anthony Sadler. Eastwood never made official offers to the actors, and in his mind he said he kept circling back to the idea of the real-life heroes portraying themselves. This is by no means the first time that this type of experiment has been carried out in a film. You can go back to 1955 when Audie Murphy, who is regarded as the most decorated US soldier in World War II, portrayed himself in the movie To Hell and Back, which was based on his memoir. Audie Murphy had already starred in a number of films by that point, and during his career, which spanned roughly 20 years, he made more than 40 feature films and 1 television series. Other real-life people who have portrayed themselves in films include sports legends Jackie Robinson and Muhammad Ali, who starred in their own biopics. The fact that the real people were cast in the 1517 to Paris is by no means the main reason this film is largely accurate. It's the fact that Clint Eastwood stuck to the real-life events as they unfolded on the train, almost shot for shot. He didn't opt for far-fetched action movie suspense that we're used to in these types of films. These scenes were shot on a train that was going back and forth between Amsterdam and Paris, which was the real-life route. Now, all of these things somewhat contribute to the movie not being as enjoyable as it could have been if it had been dramatized more and trained actors were cast in the roles. However, as is often the case, what was lost in terms of drama we gain in terms of historical accuracy. Now, there are going to be people who argue this as being the most accurate movie based on a true story. And it is possible there are past films I've yet to research that may be more historically accurate. If you have your own thoughts on which film holds this title, please share in the comments and I'll add it to my list of films to research. If you want to learn more about the 1517 to Paris and how it compares to the true story, check out our article over on historyversushollywood.com that's linked in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. Anchors away, my friends.